Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my new video. In this series I would like to take you over the course of me making a costume for Squall Leonhard or Leon from Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. I will be doing the whole costume and I will be doing a tutorial for all of the parts. So today I want to show you how to make his gloves. Because I don't wanna lose this awesome leather gloves, I just made this simple piece you can put over it and you can keep your gloves, since leather gloves are not exactly cheap. You will need a paper to draw your stencil on, a white marker, a ball pen, these fabric clips, these rivets, sew on buttons, this tailor meter, a ruler, a thread, contact cement, a leather gloves, and of course some leather. For this I'm using a fox leather from one of the jackets I bought, because it's a good quality. Now let's start with the measurements. First, measure your wrist, then around your knuckles, and finally the space between. Since I'm doing the second one, I already have this measured. So now let's make a stencil. Here I am drawing a 4 cm to 25 cm white strip of paper, making it my stencil. You can skip this part if you want to draw it on the leather and measure it on the piece. But I wanted to ease the process a little bit, so I made this simple strip that I will use throughout the whole video. And now all you need to do is cut it out. Which brings me to the fact that I didn't mention scissors in the list of stuff you will need. Well, take a scissors and cut it out. Here comes the fun part, making the straps. For me, I will need two 25 cm long straps and one 20 cm long strap. So first, I traced out my stencil, made the lines by 1 cm, so I can fold it in half. Well, yeah, I could just do the half line and then just fold it over. Oh, and I also made the shorter one right next to it, just so I don't need to show you here the whole process, because it will be really time consuming. Just one note, don't make the third strap yet, because it will be wider. We will do the strap just in a while. Now I just cut it out the two strips and I'm ready to go on and continue. Here I just took our stencil and actually made another 25 cm long strap and just extended the width of it, so now it's not 4 cm wide but 6 cm wide. You will see later why we need this strap to be wider. Here we are going to take our contact cement glue. I'm using Chemoprene Extreme from Patex, and we will just put it over the whole backside of our strap. Then we will fold the sides in to the middle line. Be sure to let the glue dry a bit and then fold the leather. I struggled a bit with this fox leather because it was like really thirsty material, so the glue just soaked inside and it was really hard to actually glue it. This was the step when I regretted that I used fox leather instead of actual leather, which doesn't drink so much of it. Here I'm doing the third and the last strap. I was doing this one differently because I was just doing a half of it at a time. Mainly it's because it's a large piece of leather, and as I said, the material drank a lot of the glue. So if I would make it on the whole part, it will just soak in and I wouldn't be able to actually glue it. So I did it this way. What happens here is pretty much me getting pissed because it just didn't hold perfectly. So here I got to clip the whole thing with the fabric clips so it holds at least somehow. You can see I did it to the other straps too. After that I squeezed it under the book, pinned it to the table with the ruler above it, and a lot of different things. But after all, it held. Here comes a step that is actually more difficult to explain, but basically take the two straps, the longer one and the shorter one, put the shorter one under the longer one and glue it just like I do it on the video. Be sure to glue only the part you will bend over the longer strap and not the whole thing, because you will need to add the rivet with the spikes. Here I just pressed it so the glue holds, and meanwhile I'm going to respond to some messages. Okay, now take one of the rivets with the spikes and you will need to squeeze it to the shorter part, which is above. So just squeeze it like this. Then I took the white felt pen so the spikes come through the fox leather, and then I just close the spikes so it holds. Oh yeah, and here my camera died. Yeah, that was really awesome. But I guess you will see me closing another rivets later in the video. So let's just continue for now. Here comes a step you should be able to make yourself. Just apply contact cement, glue it together, and don't forget to let it dry for a while. After I glue it, I secured it with some more fabric clips. Here comes the part where you will need to take on your glove. Then you will just tie the band around your wrist and secure it with one fabric clip so it holds on the place. After you will finally do it, just put the shorter strap exactly at the middle of your hand, then slide the wider strip just like I do it on the video. Bend it around your knuckles. This should be easier because you can hold it with your thumb. Secure it on the place exactly as you want it. Because I made the first one yesterday, I just looked if it's similar in length. So I adjusted it a bit more, then I held it in place. I took one fabric clip and just clip it into the place. Now here I just took a scissors and cut it off the excess piece of the shorter strap so we can glue it together. Here it is just the same routine. Apply the glue, squeeze it together, hold it for a while, and then continue. Now we are going to do the thing with the rivets again. So just squeeze them on place where you want them to be. They have short spikes so it won't come through the 4 layers of leather you have. So now just squeeze them through so the spikes peek out. And then bend them together so it holds. Don't worry, because the hemoprene we are going to apply later will hold it in place afterwards. But you don't want the spikes to pierce in your hand. After that, just apply some pressure to stretch the fox leather, because the spikes will crumble it a bit, but it doesn't matter, it won't be so noticeable. Now I just marked where I will fold the leather so I can apply the glue and glue it together. Here just take your craft knife, which is another tool I forgot to mention, and cut the wider strip in half. The folded halves will guide your blade. After this part is done, just again take your glove, put it on, and prepare 2 fabric clips. This time you don't need to wrap your wrist, just take 1/2 and clip it together, then take the other strips and clip them together as well. Yeah, for this part just cut out a single rectangle of your fox leather. The measurements are not necessary here. Just cut out a bigger rectangle. Here I'm just checking if the 2 parts are at least somehow similar. If it isn't, just adjust it a little bit, the clips will help. Here I cut off the excess so I don't waste too much glue, because we will be gluing the strap of leather. We cut it out a while before. So just mark where you will need the glue, cut off the excesses, and you are good to go. I know you saw a lot of gluing lately, but here I just wanted to show you that when you apply the glue on the outer side of the leather, it dries faster and it holds better somehow, basically because it doesn't drink so much of the and basically after that all you need to do is to repeat it with the other half of the strap. I guess it's no wonder that all you need to do now is to apply a glue on the piece of the leather you cut it out earlier, and then you will just wrap it around the glued parts of the half straps. Now just take your gloves on. At this time you probably entered your gloves more time than you entered any dungeon in Skyrim. But we will need it for the adjustment of the straps, because we will be now sewing the clip buttons on. Basically, a simple hint here, just bend the strap over where the half of your wrist is, where you have your vein. Here comes the part that will be trickier to explain. You just need to sew on the clip button, but I don't have footage for the first one since I had zoomed too much and half of the process is not on the camera. This is the struggle of recording alone. One tip, if you will sew it through the leather or the fox leather, take some leather glove to more easily pull the needle through the leather. When you will have the first one sewed, again put on your glove, check where you have the button, and then you will just need to pull the other strap around, making sure to have it bent over as well, so it's nice and clean, and just press a bit so it will actually mark the place where you need to sew on the other part of the. Basically, I inhaled too much of leather and hemoprene here, so I just marked where I need to bend it so I don't forget it, and then I marked where I need to put the button so it actually holds well. Now on the actual sewing, I just used the needle with a double thread and I'm going to sew the button on. This part was actually quite difficult to explain, so I made this little picture. Just start where the purple dot is, then go under with the green arrow, then with the blue arrow you go over and back to the hole with the knot, and then you follow the red one, which goes one hole after, and then back with another blue arrow, and you just keep switching between the red arrow and the blue arrow and you should be able to sew it on. Basically all you need to remember is that the blue one is over and the red one is under. So you go just under, over, under, over, under, over, and so on. And say hello to our good friend glue, because we are going to glue once again. We will put the glue on the part where we have our under stitches, so it will make sure it holds better. And we will just fold the leather over and glue it together. Also, when you will want to get rid of the white marks on the fox leather, just grab a cotton pad and take anything with alcohol. It can be either nail polish remover or some perfume. Just spray it on the cotton pad and wipe it off. And now we are done. You can see here that it looks really nice. You will just pull this over your hand and clip it together over your wrist. Nice. Now just make sure that it fits over your gloves and you actually don't need to redo the whole process again. Yeah, looks great, looks nice. Oh yes, we are finally done. The gloves look really good. I'm really glad how they turned out. And next time I'm gonna show you how to make the 3 belts on his arm and to make them actually connect with these gloves so it won't slip and it will hold nicely on your arm. So, thanks for watching, leave a like or a comment. Feel free to ask for anything, and when you will wait for the next video, go play some Kingdom Hearts. Bye!